And we are streaming. So, welcome back to Tiles and Confusion. I just thought I'd bring up the table in case people aren't aware. I do score these on a regular basis. This is after 4 weeks, I think we've done this. Or at least 4 Fridays since I've started back up this year's tournament. Currently, Kyrill's still in the lead, and he's also winning the win percentage threshold as well. I am second, virtue of the number of games I have played. Mono, Aegon, and then we're into the people who have not got wins, but have picked up good seconds and haven't played that many games. Sif in third with her top score at this stage. Still, fairly even, exactly what we expect. Just don't let Kyrill run away with things is the only thing I will say for today. As long as he doesn't run away with things, I am happy. Also, for good or bad, chat isn't working, which for the moment seems to be a good thing. Bear with me 2 moments. There we go, that's got it back. Although that ice changed from the last one, I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Alright, Anyway. Let's get some games going, shall we? We have Aegon, myself, and JPV currently in. We just need one more. Currently, we only have 3 people in the lobby, so we may just be waiting for a Sanma game in a bit. Anyway, how are people doing? Just to ban Aegon rising massively also. Hello. There we go. Urge to ban Aegon is rising, as I've said. The urge to ban you is definitely up there. I don't think Rise is in yet. Well, he could be. Who knows? There is a 4th player around. Admittedly, just you in the chat talking at this stage, but yeah, we'll take anybody who wants to come. Still waiting on one more. We will do a Sanma game if it comes to that, but I'm always prefer not to do those at this stage if I can avoid it. Yeah, I need to work this out because it's neater when it was how it was last week, but I don't know how I triggered that. Something in the chat settings isn't working right for whatever reason. It sounded like you were rapping, sir. Let's be honest about this. And I just want to point out, I'm not objecting to rap in general. I'm objecting to you rapping. Largely because you are better than that, sir. Also, you got us confused with operatic style singing in the background when you're bored during games. We've become used to a certain class of annoyance. Unless you're saying that I'm a Pest was spoken in some form of operatic, And you should be. As I said, we come to expect from you, sir. Well, we have 5 viewers apparently, although still only 3 people in the actual thing, so I think this is leaning towards having a Sanma game. Well, I guess we're having a Sanma game just to start things off. Which means if I do match management, I can go bop, 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 random, start. Actually, I wonder if that's it. Just testing some things, bear with. Browser source. Hello there! We're just starting a summer game just while we wait for people to turn up. I am also started a little early, so... Nope, that didn't work. Alright, bear with while I fix things in the background. Which may also involve doing some nonsense because I didn't do this correctly. Whoops. So that thing's set up for the standard one, not for that, so... Doesn't matter, we'll work it out. Copy, reduce. I am not at all paying attention to this. And in summer I have less time to work things out, so... Huzzah. No. There we go. Alright. So at least I'm back to some form of normality, even if I don't particularly like the setup. Really need to work out something with that. Okay, well, I'll toss that. We're actually looking at a good hand here. Thankfully, I haven't missed my last white dragon. Good. Problem is, putting it there makes a sort of sense, but then obviously I've got to worry about other things. What I'll probably do is because I have it minimized there. Anyway, we have a Riichi against us. Thankfully, we've got a safe tile to get rid of if we want to, or I can toss my dragons. And I think we're going to toss the dragons here. Turns out it's just massively reduce that area. Nice save. This is JPB Reach. Live red. That's annoying. 8 it is then. So pretty much we're looking at 6 and cutting open for a dragon pair weight. So let's reduce the height of that to 500. I've got a second backup escape plan now. Safe on both. I just need to box it in there, actually. Yeah, so just have it massively smaller and put it in there. Seems like a reasonable plan. There we go. Make sure the thing is actually working fine. Chat will drive me nuts one of these days. But that'll do that for the moment. Okay. So now we're actually focusing on things. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, keep down. And we'll throw the red out there as well, just for the sake of things. So we've got an early aggressive thing for possibly Chanter here. Wouldn't be the worst. Should have tossed the 4, we already got rid of the other bits. Okay, Aegon, Doubleton, Khan. So ultimately, we're now looking to finish a hand rather than necessarily go for the extreme value. Early 5, but knowing Aegon, he could still very much be on this on Itsu. Most likely, though. It's going to gonna say most likely Toy. We can pursuit Riichi with 1-8. Alright, let's go with it. It's a bad weight, but I feel this is a reasonable one to pressure with. Wrong 8. So the 8 side might be played as a safe to Aegon, but alas! Aegon has his half flush, picks up a deal among them. Alright, 2 Dora in the opening hand, and we've got a pair of dragons. Hold on to the Kita for the moment. We'll give it a couple of turns and just see if we can nudge the hand into other directions. Double Dora. So I'll probably Kita after this one, especially since both of them are committed. Doesn't buy it a lot, it just, you know, there's a chance to draw multiples, there's a chance to be able to use that as a weight. But people are on the attack now. I'd like to call that, but I don't have the white yet. This one I'll backfire and I'll discard 8, but... No, we're not... Regardless of anything, if you're going to give me Dora free, I'm not going to say no to that. I'm tempted to call this as well. So I can call this, cut the 5/6, can cut the white dragons maybe? Nah, let's go for Honit's, the Toy as a backup. Or white dragon only, of course.
No.
Aegon's starting off well. He's on its 7 pairs. We mentioned this a while ago, but Aegon kind of found his format in Sanma. Where all out attack kind of makes a sort of sense. Right. Not great. Although we do now have 8. And if you got 8, you might as well have a go. Have a red 5. Nobody wants the red 5. Yeah. There, I say. Well, given I'm still at 8, this is definitely where I should be folding. But this is Sanma. You don't fold in Sanma. I've drawn nothing useful for this hand either, so... Hey, I've finally drawn something else on this down chain. I can even play the 6. We're not going for this cock sheet, really, but you know. Good news is we now know the 1's safe. Red's also safe, actually, come to that. Yeah, I guess we're out then. Concede defeat with 4 more needed. least. Alright, second exhaustive draw in GPB's favour. And so far we are second by virtue of having done nothing. Alright, East free. Nah, we'll hold that a turn or two. Hand's not great, but... I mean, arguably there's no real downside to not doing it, although that's giving us a set there. I guess let's prioritize getting rid of loose tiles first. Let's get rid of a 9-8 on this side. And see exactly where we are. East, of course, the worst tile we could have as a one-of. But we're stuck with it now. Alright, Riichi cross. We've got a definite safe tile, and then we'll play out. So this is his dealer comeback round. So we can cut our own 9-8s here if we wanted to. I'd imagine the one's safe, but... So we'll play that out first. Okay. So was that a break from a pair for Aegon then with that 8? Because there was a pause. 5 safe, so we'll go that way round. What we need is either the East or the red to turn up. Actually, red can go. I don't know why we're clicking on that. Also, down you, Aegon. So Aegon hit his Honitsu. Hits 12, and I've finally done something in this game. I've dealt in. But I've dealt in and made it my dealer turn. So, all good. All bad, actually, but you know. Okay. That's the thing. How best to prioritize this? See, the dot tiles are where the Dora are, but the Sozu is slightly more connected. Not that I can call sequences, of course. I think we have to go Sozu side. It's obviously Honitsu for this, but... Right. War were declared, sir. War were declared. I spent ages on that, and you just kill it off instantly. Alright, well, I'm hoping for a North weight here. Because there's nothing better than being on a North weight. Oh, okay, one left. Come on, 5-8 and a thing. Aegon's carding. Azar for additional points. Aegon's going a bit all out here. Right, reach on the key to wait. Mainly one of those, but you know, somebody's gonna just keter it. Oh, we can do Riichi Sumo as dealer. I'll take that too. Didn't hit any Ura by the look of it. Oh, really wanted the North deal in, but fine. I don't think that's punishment enough for Aegon though. We need to get him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again. I mean, Aegon gave up a 9 with this, so... I mean, it's still not guaranteed. There are no guarantees in a Kokushi attempt, but... Even in Sanma. Hola, Sith. Aegon is doing his usual thing of winning Sunma and will then crash horribly when we get to the proper game. Maybe. Who knows? Also, this is not updating. Well, it's partially updating. And once again, we're at 8 attempts. It's not actually managing to get in. Hey, we got one. Let's say anything out yet, but that dragon passed. Well, Aegon's determined to finish this one off. Well, two to go. I don't really have an easy way of crushing Aegon, unfortunately, here, so I think this is going to be the Chinitsu Toy attempt. Fortunately, there's going to be no excess Dora in this. However, that helps on the Chinitsu Toy. And yeah, we are probably cutting reds after this. I'm not sure this is a good plan, but I need something to hit Aegon with, and the only way I'm going to get anything out of him is if I can force a ridiculous Baiman style hand, and that requires me to go Chinitsu, Toy, Tanyo, Khan, and Dora, maybe. Not expecting much from this attempt, really. That being said, I'm being gifted things. We knew that would happen. Alright, well that's the Toy. Ideally I would like Tanyo as well, but I guess it doesn't really make that much difference. Okay. Aegon's helping me out with my own plan right now. Unfortunately, he's given himself Dora free. Yeah, he's a bit of a jam thief right now, is Aegon. Unfortunately, he does not appear to have learned how to protect a lead, but I guess, again, you don't defend in Sanma. Oh, that's the fourth. Also, if I've got the local Yaku turned on, there's an extra one there. Nope. Yeah, changing it back to Sanma does mean it churns off all of the dance settings on things. Well, Aegon wins on 100k. Unfortunately, that means nothing in the context of how this tournament goes. Really sorry. Also, this is just not working. Bear with. Yeah, I've done something weird with this chat box, so I'm going to have to look into that before the next one. Still, bear with me 2 moments while I go and adjust things in the background to make sure we got 4-player back turned on and all of our usual settings sorted out. So, 4-player south. Because unfortunately now I have to go through all of the dance settings again, which I didn't realise it changed. But it does. Local Yaku back on. I think that's the only major thing there. And negative points, which I can never remember if it has to be enabled or disabled. But we'll find out as we go, I'm sure. Right. And then I didn't press update, did I? Nope, did not press update. And no, I don't want to disable double Yakuman. Okay, local Yaku, Mangan Roundup, update, match management, and we have myself, Aegon, Mono. Stream is on a 1-minute delay, you say? I tried that. I got no community. Therefore, we went back to the old community I used to have on YouTube. Besides, this is about right. We also have an unknown. So, if the unknown would like to identify themselves, that would be useful for me. Anyway. Let's see how this works. Yeah, I think the CSS I've gotten is just not coping with it particularly well at this point, which is not ideal. Right. Right, let's use our time up and go north. So we're dealer, got a couple of Dora in the opening hand, and a not terrible start, in all honesty. Ming Ming is me. Okay, good. Just checking. Well, we've hit it's Sananko potentially. And it's so useful, possibly shaped up other ways, but you know. So 4 dots the last loose tile we got. So ideal draws, drawing a pair of 8s wouldn't be too bad here. That would possibly push me into Suanko territory. Ignoring that though, it's not a bad hand as is anyway, it just needs to get the last few pieces in. Should may involve throwing the white in a couple of seconds. Okay, Mono calls a 2. White also passes, but we'll get rid of our 3 now since the 2's just been called. Means our 1s are most likely going to get stuck as a pair. I'm not going to Khan. We did get another pair though. So 2-5 for Sunanko as dealer against somebody who is attacking. The greed is in. Gotta be honest, the greed is in here. I don't need this with Freedora, but... She changed that on the 1 turn. Against 2 calls, that switch was greedy, but if you got a half chance at going for something like this, you have to go for it. I assume it was more they just got it there, but it did seem a little targeted. Still. This hand is a mess in comparison. Mind you, the last hand was awesome. So we've got 1 4s and 9s. Because of that, we're not even going to call that, because we can call it, but that's really just going to put our hand in a weakened position here. And it means we've got 2 reds as safe tiles going forward in case we need them. Okay, that's not the worst. We can still get rid of our 1 there, although getting rid of it for purposes of all simples isn't the best. Pair isn't... It's not helpful, but it's not terrible for us. I guess based on the slight mathematics of it, we get rid of the 1 3 rather than the 8's 9. At least there's a single 1 played. Yeah, we'll play white. 1 was just played. It's not doing a lot for us at this stage. And this is why we're quite glad to have a couple of reds at some point. Thankfully we can match on the first and then think about reds after that. Fourth white. I'm surprised you played that, because there was a pause from my potential call a bit earlier. Still, Sumo, Aegon is currently healer, so he will lose more points than anybody else, so that maintains our 2nd place. And Mono with a Mangan. Having identified the best threat, has now put that threat to last place. Okay, we're alternating between ridiculous and terrible starting hands. Although, admittingly, again, somebody else has got a real go at this. So 3 or 8 gets us pretty much there. No pair of those gets us into Sananko. We're not going to call that, though. 8 is still probably our best draw here. Alright, Tenpai. Green Dora 1. We'll take it, Tenpai. There was an outside possibility going for something bigger than that, but given the limited number of calls we had left for the 9 just being played. Also, not going to Khan. We're not in any way, shape, or form requiring that. It's East 3, early days. And you're trying to force a Honitsu. Not good that I've just drawn south on that basis, but have a go anyway. Aegon wants that for some reason. Here's where I should be folding, but it's a judgment call. I don't like it, but we're folding this. Having already committed on very, we'd have got it if we'd have kept going with that, but I have no illusions about the safety of this 7. And just yeah, we've been punished for folding, I think, ultimately, but I'm still of the opinion that okay, she was on a completely different weight, but she was 10 high. She had to be on something. Had discarded only the 4 earlier as a possible indicator that 7 was safe. Didn't feel good enough. We're still 2nd. Game has equalised a little bit, and we're in East 4. Ultimately, yeah, as it turns out, I could have gone for that, and I would have won on various countbacks of that. Ultimately, though, it's still Mahjong. I don't think I had enough justification to go for that. Okay. Okay, it's about what I can call this hand, in all honesty. It's... yeah, we've got Quick Dragon, which we'd like because we're trying to push the dealer turn here. 4-6 is a little awkward, both of them are middle tiles, so we're likely to draw something connected to those soon. Play the green on turn 4. Which passed. So what else can we do? Hopefully just draw 3, 6, 5 and get us there. And there's 1. So we need to draw something off of this 4, 6, so we're going to have to get rid of it. Drawing a 5 would be ideal, puts us in a 2-sided weight for Riichi Dora only, because annoyingly these don't count as Yaku. If we draw the whites though, we've got weight on the 5 dot, not the best, but white Dora 1 to be dealer. I suppose we can always go in the pair weight on the 3 white, although neither of those seem particularly likely on this board. Again, well, at least this is how we'd like to be getting rid of here anyway, so yeah. So we can reach on the 5, which does not seem like a strong play, so we're going to get rid of our 3s. Well, now we'll take it. 5 dot for the win then. He's played a 7, so that was Suji theory against the Riichi there. It was loose, but I'd like to have my shot at winning if I can take it. Two, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. We know where all the 3s are. That's a pair weight if he's on it, so we'll see. Oh, we need this win soon. Although 3 dot was safe last turn. Egan thankfully secured that one. Yeah. Well, Egan going with his 7 pairs victory. Takes the lead. And this is not a good hand for coming back into this. We've got a Dora though. Pair of Norths, nothing else really to show for this. I guess we cut the 1 initially. See if we can hopefully pair one of the dragons up and then, I don't know. Alright. Problem when it's the last dealer turn and you just have to give people stuff they need. That was a slight backwards as well, because obviously getting rid of 1 meant that 1, 2, 3 was no longer useful for us. And we backed it on the white dragon as well. Ugh. Yeah, this is not our game. This is not our game right now. We missed the opportunity for the big hand in game 1, and I think that has cursed us for the rest of this. Especially as Sif is just deciding to go call nuts as a hand that she's just going to attack with. In last place, so is going to take it. Goes into a naked weight as well. Okay, so she's obviously on a dot or on a tile. North's the only thing we can get rid of at this point. Depressingly, I don't think there's any way we could keep going against that without discarding them. So he could also be actually she could be on anything. She could be on a doorway. No, she's not. I'm surprised she's not in a doorway, actually. So let's play the 9. Because if she had the option of the 8 or the 9, she'd surely have picked that. So Also, she wouldn't pick a 7. This is faulty logic sometimes, but if you're on a single weight, what are you going to ideally wait on if you've got any kind of option in it? You'll wait on an external tile, you will not wait on a 3 or a 7. Which is bizarre, twisted logic, but you know. She didn't take the Dora, which is the main reason why I'm going a bit OTT with this. Because she could easily take that Dora. Dora's worth the Honitsu if she gets a pair of them, so... Yeah, 5 up. Yeah, we're just gonna play this out. Depressingly lose our dealer turn, but... Well, safety out of this one, I think. Yeah, she would not be on a 3 up, so surely. No. I gotta think somewhat about the others as well, actually, comes about. I can't just immediately say everybody's folded, because they can certainly win to them. Alright, so we've got 4, 4, and 6 going into the last few then. 6 is aiming against all 3 opponents, so that's our last play if we need one. Last place Khan. Last place Khan. Could have called that. I should have called that. I'd have denied the last discard. Alright, so she was aiming on the dragon. That was optimistic from there, I think, but... Depressingly, this puts me into last place, and now means I've also lost my last dealer turn. We got a triplet of the Souths. This is actually an okay starting hand. So 14k off the lead. Yeah, Sif's still on the attack. She's got her last dealer turn. She doesn't need to necessarily go for this at this stage. Equally though, this puts pressure on everybody else at the table, so I'm not saying it's a bad move. Not at all. So... yeah, one's not helping. Any of the other odd ones except 9 would be useful here, but you know. One north blade, 2 north blade actually, so I think we will be getting rid of this. Pair of 5s. So that's pair established. So we're in Tenpai if we can get the connective bits for this. Be 7 or 3. Downside is we do need some points. What's been played? 3-5 versus 5-7. Something a loose upgrade. But there is always the outside possibility we can put this into Honitsu late. So... this darn game. Oh well. If I'd have gone the other way around, I'd have had Riichi here. But fine. These things happen. Also, nobody's played that 4th South yet. Points on the table, and I'm going to play a 5 up. Fun. Well, I now draw a 7, And that's just C-note. Okay, fine. 7 and white isn't the best, although she might manage to get the Hanneman out of it because of the Apatsu. So 24 behind, 2 turns. Yeah, ultimately we're battling for low order here. Again, we've got a really good hand. It doesn't feel like this is my game based on everything thus far. Yeah, we're drawing pairs when we don't need pairs. We want sequences. Well, we're getting triplets again. I'm going to cut the 9s. So currently our Riichi draw a 1, and an outside possibility to turn this into a Khan. I suppose I have an outside chance of making this Chinitsu, but... yeah, this doesn't feel like a Chinitsu hand. This feels like a hand I'd like very early in the game. Cheap and attack. Speaking of which, the dealer wants more. He can only he gets in Mangan range, so still a reason to attack this. It also kills off my 2-3. Well, it doesn't kill it off, but it makes it far worse. There was definitely an argument to not do that. I'm just going for Chinitsu as well. Ugh. There was an argument to say no to that, and it was a correct argument to say no to that. But we now go all in. Yeah, we actually need this Chinitsu. We can't actually just win this. But equally, I'm not in the mood to not put no pressure on. She's going to get Tanyo and just secure 3rd. We don't want that. Come on. Play better. South only. South only gives you nothing. Well, Chinitsu's fired up, and we're about to do the thing that you should never do and go into a naked wait. Alright, we have Honitsidora 1. I'm actually going to decline the win, though, I think, unless... I don't know. We need a Khan, ideally. Honitsu's not worth enough. I'm not sure why you'd go for that. You have the lead, you've got 2 non-dealers attacking you at that point. All you really do is try and stay out of it and let them, you know, kill each other off. I personally disagree with the dealer's tactics there, but... ultimately, I'm playing silly buggers for the sake of it. I'm not entirely sure why Sif is playing silly buggers, but... but she's been aggressively calling the whole game, actually, so who knows. Boy Mono is about to take 2nd place. Nope, no all greens for Egan. No card available down that end of the board. I'm going to force the Honitsu here. Okay, well that's game. No, it's not. It's not even worth enough points to that. Come on. Well, I now need a direct hit Hanneman to avoid being in last place. This is not a Hanneman hand. Not about a lot of help. Well, I say it's not a Hanneman hand. Sanchikyu, Chanter, yeah. So basically Sanchikyu and Chanter are the only options here. If I can go Junchan instead, that's probably the better way to go about it. But yeah, we only have one shot here. Yep, discarding a sequence in Rage in the last hand. So Junchan, Sanchikyu. With Dora, potentially Hanneman. Yeah, this has to be gone for. Downside is there's only 2 8s left. One down. So we need to draw the 8 here, get rid of our free 1, and then hope to get the last 8. Alternatively, getting 1 8 would be fine here, although if I have to get it open, that's a real pain in terms of our trying to win. Impair the 1, we need to do that. That's good enough, it's just not gonna get there in any meaningful way here. Not with the level of attacks going on. You have to call it this time. Which is awkward. So we now need to pair up either the 9 or the 1 and be waiting on the other one. And if we draw a 2, then I think it's a Hellweight. Actually, it might be a Hellweight either side the way this is going. There's only one of each. Yeah, a single 2 and a single 8 remaining. And open Junchan Sanchikyu is not worth a lot. That's worth 3. So Dora for Mungan. We've basically undone all of our potential effort here. It also has to be a direct hit against Sif, just for additional difficulty. Chances of pairing up the 1 have basically got to 0. Can still pair up the 9. There's only one of those left though. One of those. We basically need one ofs. Yeah, this isn't a hand that's really gonna get anywhere. We're gonna bust out. It'll be glorious. I would hope we bust out on the tile that puts us Tenpai at least. Nope, that's it. And we'll be forever no 10. Yeah, if we'd drawn that 8, it might have changed things a little bit. We'd have had the possible Ipeco, we'd have had possibilities of switching this round, being able to wait for it. I'll take Tenpai at least. Ultimately meaningless, and we go sliding down the points bowl. Indeed you do, sir. Indeed you do. But now, another game. Yeah, no worries. We also have an Aegon. So we have JPB, myself, Aegon, and one more. And we can see how my luck is tanking even further. I can definitely hit 0 by the end of this stream. Definitely possible. Alright, and we have mono. Okay, let's get ourselves another game. Okay, match begins. Again, starting dealer, and again with a hand that's okay. Weren't dealt the pair of Dora Dragons, but you can't have that all the time. Okay. So absolute optimal hand is going to be something along the lines of Sanchiku, Dragon at this point. Failing that though, Dragon Nomi as dealer is more than fine. Have our pair. Have a backup pair. Double backup pair, and it looks like we can get a quick just escape hand here. So 2536. There we go. We'll take that. Thank you very much. Right, Tenpai it is. Nah. There's a minor possibility of changing things up there, but there's no real benefit to doing so. Even here, the only way we'd upgrade the hand, I guess, if we drew exactly 4 and exactly 3 in sequence. Get rid of 7 and 6 and lean the hand over. Be for a turn if we switch that weight up, so let's not do that. Well, that means the only thing I haven't discarded is anything on the 258 octave. Okay, more 7s. Could have canned, could have canned. But we'll take a cheapo win and just have a quick dealer repeat. Alright, Dragon Nomi, 26. Moving on. Time for another 1,000 point hand. Yep, Dragon Nomi again. Good draw. Okay. So, 1 from Tenpai. Ideal hand is 1-2-3 Sanchiku or 2-3-4 Sanchiku. Both of them need a little bit of work, but we have Tenpai pretty close here. Is that better? I think we cut the 1 here anyway. Gives us more options, means we can potentially reach and get something out of this. Means we're covered in case we draw a 7 here. And we're still minimizing information out, so... Nice. Okay, 2-3-4 Sanchiku is all. So, come on, ideal draws. 2 so. There's a possibility we're going to switch to 7 pairs there, but I feel that this is better and also has more value going for it. Alright, so we have Suji against that. We also have direct safe tile if we want to cast a 3 here, which we do in the case we're drawing the 4. So we have another definitely safe tile, and we can go for dragon and triplets. But we need that dragon. Alright, we'll hold off. I don't see 4 being a safe tile though, so I think that we are going to have to play this as is for the moment. Thank you, Egan! There we go. Riichi Hatsu. That wasn't the greatest of reaches in many ways, and honestly that I would have been fully justified in dealing into either of the other 2 players with that. However, equally, there was nothing I could break from my hand that wouldn't be dangerous to definitely the first reach, with the second consideration as well. Some problems. Alright, south we go. Still, that was a high value win this time. And we are looking at another dragon pair in hand, so pick up the dragon, toss that, complete that. Yeah, 2 away. And that helps as well, because that gives us more options in the middle. Yeah, apparently we need more options in the middle. Well, we'll play safe for the moment. So, mono early reach. Literally sieging us the last tile. No other reason for that. Ultimately, though, we're just going to have to play as normal as possible and just work around this. Can definitely still escape with this. It depends whether the 7 passes. Okay, well that ignores that plan. That was an early hand that we actually hit Mungan, so that was extremely lucky. Alright, Egan's dealer turn, we finally hit East 2. Now, unfortunately, I think that's my jam out for this game at this point. Because this hand does not look great. Alright, Egan's calling, so we got to assume that's a half flush. Or he's got a second bonus tile somewhere. You may not be wrong. You may not be wrong. It definitely seems to have returned. Well, this hand's less good example of it, but I've definitely had some jam before we started this. Mono, though. That last hand. Right, we'll play North. So we have a possible Itsu, although saying it's possible is the same level that I normally used to say it was possible. It's not likely. Yeah, it's round of 6. draws. I got the 3 at this point. A little bit dodgy, but ultimately it was a close bet on the 4 anyway, so. And this doesn't feel like the hand that we're going to do much with. No, Aiden looks like he's got his free pass. I'm going to have to guess he's on Dot Honitsu, but goodness knows if he is or not. Saving against all 3 opponents, so. So now I can get the 7 if you want as well, so that's safe to Aegon and to Mono. Colin doesn't really do much for us. Technically puts us 1 from Tenpai, but doesn't give us a Yaku. Alright, double pursuit reach. I'm tempted to go for this myself here, but, you know, we don't have that yet. Okay, so Call cut the 9 gets us into Tenpai with 3 draws left. Well, 2 draws left. Fine, go on then. We'll have Tenpai here. It's Tenpai we could win with as well. Oh, that's awkward. So our only option would be to cut the 5 against this reach, or cut the 3, which is definitely live. Oh well. Yeah, go. Thankfully it was a not very good hand, but that has pushed us out of that one. I could just easily do it in with the other one as well, so. I guess maybe I shouldn't have pushed for that. Also shouldn't have touched the west there, I should trust south. When I got on a misclick, I just looked at the west and got rid of it. Mind you, all the west are gone. Ignore me. Well, we're still leading. Egan needs a win soon. And since he keeps calling, he's not going to get an expensive one. I don't know, maybe we can calm that. Who knows? Oh, we know what Aegon's waiting on. Something silly on his dragon only. Called for at this point. 2 isn't helpful. Thing is, North isn't safe. Convention says it should be, but I don't know. So what do I need to make this hand? I need to get the 5 and I need to get the 3, basically. I'll be waiting on the 6. So close weights all the way. And then hope the Norse pass. Draw a 2. Okay. Well, we're 1 away from having some form of monster there. You get Sumasai, which if you don't know, that's basically 1 of each set plus a dragon and honor set. So yeah, pick that off. Because we play with local Yaku for here, for local people. And some of them we're not even aware of. East. Ultimately, it wasn't the worst result for us. It means nobody can just snipe Aegon out of the game. Well, at least not with anything small, anyway. It's only because we've got local Yaku on, so therefore we have all of the ridiculous rules that don't make sense on. So you're waiting on the south, that's the thing. Alright, Aegon decided to attack it. And deal it. And it's a Mungan. Is it Hanneman? Because if it is, that's gay. Yeah, Aegon, why would you do that? Why would you do that? I'd get Charlotte coming back at that one. Well, I need to buy at least 2 more because I need to get my ranking back up somehow. But yeah, that is a thing. Alright, we have Starfall, we have myself because I am a glutton for punishment at the moment. But GG. Oh, we have a bunch of people here. Okay, so I'm going to select people who haven't been in games previously. So it's now currently a toss-up between Mono and JPB. Or I could go out of this and try and spectate a game. And you know what? I'm going to spectate a game. I'm going to see if we can manage to work our way around that one. So JPB and Mono. And then we're going to... Oop. Somebody's come out. Mono's come out, that's why. Something has either gone bizarrely wrong, or people have just decided to cut out after saying okay. Possibly in relation to what I just said. Well, in that case, we have Starfall, JPV, and myself, plus 1 more. And again, we have Larry, and again, we have Sif. So, let's start the game up with you 4 then. And then we're going to see if I can work out how to spectate on the darn thing. Nope, I don't want to cancel that. Log, watch. You're matchmaking on the perspective. Ah, that's why. Right, round starts in about 277 seconds. And then we get to watch other people play a game. Which, you know, I haven't done proper analysis in a while, so please don't take anything I say as an insult. You know, just... I'm literally just examining how I feel about things. As you can tell by my play tonight, I am not perfect. I will make a ton of mistakes, and I will beat myself up about those later, in all honesty. Just from a pure analysis point of view and my own inexpert view, I will explain what I feel about most things. I used to do one of these every now and then when we actually had a bunch of people, and we actually had 2 games going on at once, so we had to wait for the second game to finish. So I guess we'll have a bit more of that now. Anyway, before missing out, I'm going to have a quick grab some more drink break, so back in 2 moments. Right, shortened version of the tea ceremony has been conducted. We are 60 seconds away from things. I think this is my signal to get out. What? Why is it your time to get out, sir? You're always welcome for random analysis and, you know, talking about hands and things. Because I've been battered. To be fair, Aegon, you hit 100,000 points in the free-player game, crushing myself and JPB, and then you proceeded to watch me get beaten down even further in the first actual game of the thing. So, yeah. I'd say you're getting off light. Okay, confirm. And I think we're gonna... Actually, I don't know how this is gonna go. We'll see who we want to sit behind. The other important thing to note is with any kind of analysis of this kind, I'm not in the game. I don't have the stresses and the considerations and the timer. So I'm always going to be more rational in my decisions and see things that are more open to other people. And in fact, if I can see all the hands, then I know what things are dead and what things are doomed. But obviously, I will try to bear it with the player's hand in mind. Yeah, it did. I don't have the panic of, oh dear god, I think he's in this hand. What do I do? I can see things. I can see clearer than the player in most cases. Unless you're talking about 6th or 7th down players, in which case, absolutely, they can see further than I can. How's your tea? Well, it was, as I said, it was a reduced tea ceremony, so, you know, it's passable. Huzzah! Apparently, this is taking ages to get into this screen, which, you know, is not good for a spectators mode, unless the game completely crashed on me. Ignore what I was browsing previously. It was only BBC. Only Brexit Day. Let's not talk about Brexit Day. Good things. Right, see if this works on the second time of asking. There we go. Okay. So we are currently following Starfall. Let's yeah, let's have the hands open here just so we can kind of do multiple analysis. I think there's a way we can set up who we're behind as well. Yeah, so we can spectate behind anybody. Who is the most interesting player here? I don't know. We'll stay with Starfall for the moment. I think I've only played one game with them at this stage, so I'm actually not sure of their overall skills or abilities at this stage. Expert 1. Okay, nice. She knows how to play. She knows how to play. Everybody's she in this game, by the way, until further notice. With the exception of JPB, who can actually, you know, playing a male character, he can be he. Right. So, overall, it's a pairs clumping up hand. There's an argument for cutting the free here and using what you've got, although, that being said, South isn't a bonus tile. Ah! You'll make it, sir. Also, if my commentary is confusing you, because obviously this is 5 minutes in the past, turn me off, because honestly, I could live with that. But that would involve me going to Ireland, sir. Yeah, so again, this is the going for triplets versus going for pairs, and I imagine that 7 pairs is the consideration here, if only because of Dora, which is awkward to discard at this point. Also the 5 so, which is going to be awkward, but But yeah. So if we look around the table, just see what everybody else is currently working towards. And a 4, which I would suggest is some form of folding, although I'm not sure entirely what that. Yeah, so definitely looking at 7 pairs options here. So getting rid of the middle tiles, trying to go for external ones, trying to find and force that 7 pairs play through. Meanwhile, though, Larry is building up reasonably nicely up top. Sif is still trying to sell a couple away. This is actually a kind of slow hand from all players here. In many ways, and this is the suboptimal play of going for triplets rather than runs, because you're invariably always more awkward on the number of tiles you need versus the number of tiles available. That being said, though, you got to 5 pairs. So 5 pairs means you're now in the critical position of you have 3 useful tiles. There are 34 types of tiles out there. That means that at best you're looking at 1 in 11. 1 in 11, well actually, yeah, 1 in 11 to hit Tenpai. And you just watch people play your discards, the card tiles you need, endlessly as this goes. Alright, so Sif has her Yaki there. She's called to hit Tenpai, I think. Unless I've mistaken this. Yeah, so she's on a 7 edge weight. Not a greatest of weights, but calling... Actually, no, she's in Tenpai with that. No, ignore me. She's not in Tenpai. 1 more to go. At this point, no reason for it. It is a safe discard though. I actually completely missed that Larry hit Tenpai with that a little while ago. Hits the Umensei because he has Manzu, Dots, Sozu, Wind, and Dragon. Okay, so now we're going to kind of analyze this start to finish. So we'll see how this goes. So East 2, and this is a very strong calling hand here. It'd be nice if you had this as dragons instead, so you'd have the 2 pairs of safe tiles, because then you've got the backup in case the first one gets clumped up in someone's hand. For example, it's easily possible that somebody has a couple of those. No, this is the Larry and the Pinky and the Brain. Come on. Larry is amazing. Also, this is again looking to 7 pairs. 1 is a genius, the other's insane, and the other one's Larry. Okay, so this is early calls. You got plenty of triplets here. I'd be inclined to go for this. Yep, does so. Okay, so looking at Toy Toy with East backup. Yes, I just said that, Egan. Come on, type faster. Oh wow, okay, Tenpai. So Tenpai waiting on the South and 4-man. And immediately gets it. Okay, not much to discuss or analyze about that. That was just a bit of optimal stuff going on. Not a lot of ways you can increase the value of that hand, really, either. So, yeah. Not much to say. JPB gives up a few points to Starfall, who takes second. Okay, so hand free. Which is reasonable. A few loose tiles to get rid of, but once you get rid of 2/8 whites, you're probably looking at just going for the standard Pinfu Tanyo, maybe, if you got the 8, the 9, which is possible. You might as well draw something around the 2/8. But this looks like a good hand for just getting Tanyo. You're a 4,000 behind the leader, so that's 3 hard hand as non-dealer, pretty much. 2 if you're fortunate or add cards into the mix, which always gets a bit confusing with Fu in considerations. Alright, keeps the South. There's always the dodgy one here, and this is exactly the dodgy one that I talk about a lot. What happens when you got the South in everyone's hand? And this is why you should probably get rid of it early or just hold on to it. But if you hold on to it, yeah, okay, so played it third, which is fine. The downside is this frees up everybody else in theory. But no, they don't know the other ones in each of these hands. So by playing it first, you've actually freed yourself up, and everybody else now has this question mark of, can I play the South Dora? In case somebody's got 2. Larry, wake up. See, this is better than the rap. This is much better than your rapping earlier. This I can live with. Alright, and now the Souths have finally emerged because of that. But, you know, you bought yourself a couple of turns delay, and sometimes that can be critical. I have noticed that JPB has got rid of a full set of Wests in the middle of that. So getting rid of a 2 here gives you at least a possibility of moving towards Pinfu. So I'd have been inclined to get rid of that now, especially as everything else is a little more useful in your hand. So Larry going for Chitoy. This is true, Larry going for Chitoy again. I've noticed him doing that a couple of times. I mean, if we were talking about Aegon has a tendency to go for one hand over and over and over and over and over again for every single hand, which is odd and bizarre, but works sometimes. In this case, yeah, kind of. What you want to be doing when you're going for a 7 pairs style hand is you want to be looking towards these terminals and keeping those in your hand, because ultimately they're safer. Getting rid of a 2-3 earlier would have been far more doable than after this call. I know 1-2's gone. In fact, that's just... You got rid of your 7 pairs. Well, you've now got it. 2 waiting on the dragon. But you don't really want to be waiting on a dragon. The waiting on a 1 or a 9 dot is perfect. Especially if there's none of those been played yet, which at this point, less so. But you want to be waiting on a terminal of some sort. Well, this you might just have to play for the 5 dot and the extra value here. Nope, stays on it. Tenpai for North, Honitsu for Sith. Meanwhile, Starfall gone a bit backwards in the last few turns, and I haven't been paying attention to why, because, you know, I've now got Pinky and the Brain going around in my head. Thank you very much. Oh, and Larry. And that's unfortunately a deal in. Howdy, man. I've been beaten so badly that I've reduced myself to sideline commentary. Okay, so Larry still has the lead. And Larry, of course. So this is an interesting starting hand. So my first thought about this, with anything kind of like this, is that you have a great shot at Junshan Sanshku. And you've got a backup plan of just having Sanshku here quite easily. Depending on if you can draw one of the ones very quickly, then absolutely Junshan Sanshku, because that is immediately Mungan without anything added to it. So I'd be cutting the red 5 here. I'd be seriously cutting the red 5 on turn 2. Yep. Because it is that valuable, and also this is the absolute safest time to get rid of it. 9 is good, get rid of a North, because I'll cut one of 1. I suppose. There was an outside chance, though, if you kept the pair of 1s, you'd have had 2, 3, 4. So I'd have been inclined to keep the pair of 1s on the possibility of a 2, 3, 4 in case you get the 4 rather than the 1 on either of these. This gives you Sanshku Pinfu. Not the best, of course, but it's still free hand plus reach for Mungan. Now you're kind of committed to trying to force this this thing through. And getting rid of a second 9. I don't know. There's not much point in keeping these. The South is a bonus star for you, but you've already tossed one. And if you can go up one Han doing this, you might as well. But again, as I emphasize, I am not currently sitting at this table. I am not playing this game. And certainly I have thoughts go through my head and considerations which are immediately wrong. And I, of course, have the advantage of seeing all the hands. So I just see this as an opportunity to get a really good hand together here. Because you're close enough to a lead that one big hand will win you the game if you want to be careful for the rest of the game. And a Junshan Sanshku style hand doesn't come off that often. So let's have a quick just glance at what the other players are doing at this point. So JPB has called the Reds, but is still a fair way to go. Larry is looking quite good up top. In fact, Larry is in Tenpai for the 7th, but doesn't have a hand yet. 6 technically has Tenpai on the north, but this is again... Now you can definitely get that 1, 2, 3 locked in. I don't know why you cut the 9. That feels like an Aegon play here. You can cut the north quite simply. You can cut the 6. I mean, you've recovered, but you've lost probably a long time. No, he's got time, 16 seconds. That's got to be a misclick. So here, you cut the 6-man. Because why wouldn't you? But I probably wouldn't reach at this point. Okay, what am I missing on the table? Who's threatening? Well, I can see how much time they have, so I know that's not it. And yeah, I'm not entirely sure on this one. Aegon, you're our resident crazy moves planner. What are your thoughts on that? I don't mean I'm not going to be insulting because obviously they might have disconnected as well, which is always a possibility that they have disconnected. But I think they disconnect, they discard the same tile. I can't remember. I'd imagine double misclick, but it's a shame really because now the hand. I mean, you can still manage this off. You can get the 1-so Sanchku waiting on a single weight. But at this point, you've gone backwards 3 turns from where you were, so. Oh, no. I don't know. Well, we'll leave it as that. I mean, you can call this now for an open Sanchku. Okay. I'd have been inclined to call out on the basis it was the 3rd that you saw there, but how's Larry? Larry's doing okay. Larry's currently leading the game at this point. He is 1 from No, he's quite a few from Tenpai. He was 1 from Tenpai not so long ago, but he's cut the greens at some stage. So he's now looking more towards Tanyo Pinto, I suppose, if we can draw the 7. 8. Oh, now they are under time pressures. So if you cut the 8 there, you had... Actually, did you have Tenpai with that? I think you did, yeah. No, you were still 1 off Tenpai. No, ignore me. Yeah, so now you are under time constraints. And nothing is worse than hearing that beeping. You know what? Let's analyze Larry here. So Larry has Tenpai and has the option to reach here, but he's also under time constraints. Just goes for the pair 7-8. Tanyo. Yeah, that beeping is horrible. It's even worse because I got used to Tenho timing, which is only half of this. It's Tanyo Dora 1. Even if it's late, I'd probably consider the reach here to try and force some people off of the button. I mean, it's fair. Going silent is fine if you want to be safe against things. But given you're playing a few risky tiles here anyway, you've just played middle 3, middle 3, middle 5. I'd probably have been inclined to reach on at least the first one of those. That being said, there is the local Yaku that dealing in on the Riichi tile is a Yaku. And now you have a counter reach to worry about, so now you've got to worry about folding. Because that 3 is not safe against this. Yep, so that's a safe and fold. Which I guess was the justification for not reaching, but I don't... The thing is, would Sif have got to Tenpai on that reach? If she'd done that. If she'd have had that, she would have... There was enough white in East that she'd played that. She might have still got to that level, in all honesty. And she needed to reach for a Yaku anyway, so... Okay. Well, there is a format that was online, which I really loved, which did that, so... Nah. There's a form. I mean, they don't run the game mode anymore, and we really want them to put it into the tournament mode, where you just have every starting hand is revealed. Any new tiles you add to the hand from drawing, cards, whatever, those are hidden. But you know, I'll do it for the next game. No worries. I'll probably join in that as well. But I'm just observing for the purposes of you know, not being involved in every single game and trying to recover my luck to a certain level that I can, you know, potentially actually not lose a ton of points. And Larry, of course. And this joke will never, never, never die. But only because Pinky in the Brain is so awesome. I wouldn't have said that. But luck is transferable, and luck is both positive and negative. You can steal my negative luck all you want. No, what I defend is the jam, which is just the ridiculous overflow of... That is impossible. How have you pulled this together? The being a jammy goit is ultimately what the jam is all about, and that is what I manage. Anyway, I should probably be looking at what's going on in this game at this stage. Same thing we do every night, Aegon. Try to convince people to play games with us and fail horribly. I try to take over the world! Alright, so here I'd be inclined to cut the one up at 9-7 or with 9-8 here. I know there's been a call against you, but you can't worry about that at this stage. Moving this towards Pinfu is probably your best play. And one thing I don't think I noticed... Actually, is Larry a beginner player? He is, actually. Something I notice beginner players not doing an awful lot. But Aegon, where are we going to get 200 inflatable balloons at this time of night? God damn it. That was the most ridiculous thing I can think of, and it was terrible. No, let me try that again later. Yeah, but the thing that beginner players have noticed is they tend to ignore Pinfu, which, given that it is the easiest Yaku to get, I know it has a ton of restrictions, but it is the easiest Yaku to get and the easiest one to work towards. And to me, when I was first taught the game, I was told there are two Yaku you always look at and always go for, regardless of what the hand is initially, and that is Pinfu and Tanya. Get rid of the 1s and 9s and try to keep all runs. And we have, yeah, that. Okay, well, there is a threat on the board. It's a bluff, but they have no way of knowing that. Anytime somebody cons Fedora, you have to bluff. You have to either win the hand now or fold down, and you've just drawn a position that allows you to fold down. Good. The good news is, though, that's good information for the table. It means there are no runs around that 7. 8s and 9s are relatively safe. As a downside, Tanya Dora 4, Mungan. So actually, that's 7th 4 Dora from Medela. Ouch. Well, Sif takes the lead. Still an East 4, and this is a good calling hand for Larry. So this is what I meant. This is the sort of hand you'll call anything with because you've got 2 backups. There's always the chance that somebody will have a pair of one of these in their hand as well. And that happens surprisingly often. But if you've got 2, that mitigates that, especially if you've now got 2 other pairs. So this is a rush for Toy Toy. Good news about the particular pairs you've got is they're towards the end as well. So Larry's got a good shot at calling these and getting some reasonable victories out of that. Hi, Debbie! We're doing some analysis behind Larry. And Larry. Okay, so again, get rid of a door early. It's kind of what JP was doing earlier on. So you can call these, absolutely. Normally you don't want to call until you got your Yaku set up, but since you can go for both Toy Toy and you got the backup of having one for dragons, I'd have called. So this might be a case of Larry being a bit passive, which is fine. It's the other side of potentially being a newer player. When to attack and when to not. At this point, you're trying to knock the leader off a dealer position, which is almost priority 1, as opposed to trying to necessarily win the hand yourself. You want to cause problems for the dealer. And the worst thing, when you are the dealer, especially if you need to chase points, is if somebody else starts calling up a storm. Because suddenly, you can't play your game. It's something that when you're chasing for a lead and when you are down on points, other people just going out and just calling everything is the worst. Doesn't always mean they're going to get a good hand, but you just know that's a problem. Alright, so JPP has actually pulled together a really good hand here. So this is 7 pairs, half flush. Yeah, that's a ridiculous hand, actually. That's going to be Hanneman plus. But ignoring that, yeah. It's whether you want to keep going with this, and honestly, I don't know how Larry's going to fold against this. So Larry's gone for Suji. Which, I mean, Suji's fine, although Suji on the Riichi tile always feels a bit more dodgy to me than Suji on the other things. I'd almost consider the safest tiles to consider are the ones closest to the start. Of that, 1 means there's probably no low Manzu. The 3 dot means there's probably no low dot tiles. This doesn't always work, but it's what I always consider when I'm playing safety and that's how my methodology goes on it. If I can get Suji as well as a low tile, then maybe I'll go with that. But I've been called out on Suji traps far too often to want to go for things like that. So again, getting terminals is fine. Going for definite safe tiles is fine. 7, yeah, probably. The good news is, from JPB's perspective, is this doesn't look like it's necessarily Sozu Honitsu, but what it does kind of indicate is that low Sozu is the key area, probably on the 2, 5, 8 vein, because they're the 2 tiles that were discarded around this. Obviously, I can see it, so I know 2, 5, 8 is dangerous, but that's still kind of the logic I would go for. Which octaves are dangerous on that, with the tiles closest to where the reach was? So from this, 147 is safer than 3, 6, 9, but 2, 5, 8 is the worst. And Larry is almost up to 7 pairs Tenpai here. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any safe tiles to get rid of at this point, which is what he's hesitating on. It throws with 7. If in doubt, don't throw 7s and 3s. In theory, though, 4, 5, and 6 are just as dangerous, but in practice, 3s and 7s are the tiles that people tend to hoard the most, because they can go in both directions more easily than the others. So Starfall appears to be folding as well, as just holding up honor tiles at this point. So everybody's out of this, which does mean that Larry has a reasonable chance of sneaking in the back door and getting a win. But needs to pair something, and won't pair the 4. Well, it's the fact that 3s and 7s are the same distance apart, so they are the same tile. Because they can go in the end 7, 8, 9, and they go in the front 1, 2, 3. So they can also go in 3, 4, 5, obviously, and then conversely 5, 6, 7. So they're useful for regardless of what hand you're going for. 7s and 3s tend to be useful. Here I'd call and toss the 8 and go for something, I think, but you've got the dragon here, but you're still a way away. Toss the 7. You're given 2 safe tiles as well, so if you are looking for safety, get rid of the 9s. Which, given there's only 1 turn left, yeah, just toss 9. 7's fine. Okay, dealer turn is knocked off, which, you know, as I said right at the start of this hand, getting the leader off the dealer turn is always an important thing. I think JPB might have been better off not reaching that, but it's easy to say when you're in last place you have to chase for points, and that would have been a monster hand, so... But he already had a Mungan without a reach. Reach gives him Hanum, and automatically, I guess... Yeah. It's always dodgy waiting on 1 tile, although that wasn't necessarily a dead weight. Anyway, let's see how Pinky the Rain and Larry are getting on. So this is it's a close hand to completion, but it's only got the 1 dragon pair, so you've only got 1 backup plan. Toss for 7 here. Instead, tosses for 9. Yeah, this is just tile prioritization a little bit, I think, but this is a pair and a 8-9 or a 6-9 waiting here. So I think that's something that he's going to work on as he improves, but you know, you can't go from 0 to 100 overnight. It just doesn't happen. And some things you only learn by multiple games, and some things you unlearn, which you really should have remembered, ultimately. And again, you've cut really there when you could have cut the Dora here. Still early enough that you'd have got away with that, I think. Because the 4-5 is better if you're going to keep it. I'd have been more inclined to get rid of a 7. Had you have kept that, so you'd have had 2, 2, 4, 5. You've now got a pair, and you've got your 2-sided weight to go on there as well. Ultimately, what you've done if you get the 9 as well, I don't know. Yeah, a little bit, but you know. Again, newer player, and they're the ones under pressure making decisions. I am the one looking overhead. I am not personally involved in this match to a large extent, so it's easier for... Ow! What was that for, Rise? Don't make me kick you. Yes, we prefer the high rather than the dropkick. This will go into my book of grudges. You have my word on that, sir. In fact, is this a blank book? Because if it is going to be my new book of grudges. It's not. And clearly I need to play Paranoia again. Alright, no grudge for you, but it will be remembered. Anyway. So Larry's looking at Dora 3 here. Obviously a bit reliant on the White Dragon, and a bit unfortunate you didn't call that earlier. Did you get Dora 3 before that happened? I don't think you did. So sequencing's fine. Just the one dodgy thing now is whether somebody... Yeah, so there we go. Double call, so Tenpai on the 4-7. Cuts for North, which is probably fine at this point. Okay. Debbie isn't a moderator, but she's got other ways of, you know, causing problems. Anyway. Anyway. Alright, Sif's on a bit of a rampage. Hatsu only for 1500, but again, this is moving the game on. When you are the leader, you kind of want to just get quick games so that you can protect your lead and, you know, get the game closer to finish. So this is JPB's last dealer turn, and he's got a fairly bad hand. Larry's got a really good hand, actually, from that. Sif's is kind of... Sif's is actually really good. I was saying that was kind of good, but actually that's really good. I have not played Town of Salem in such a long time, sir. The cookie net has expired. So have the cookies. Besides which, the last thing I baked were muffins. And you can't have any of those either. I should do a Town of Salem stream again. That was fun. The problem with Town of Salem streams is that I kind of need enough people in the actual thing to be interested in playing it, which is not the problem. I can normally get 3 or 4 people interested, and then we just end up piggybacking on the back of other small groups. But let's get a proper stream of that going at some stage. Anyway, yes, we're talking about Pinky and the Brain and Larry. Okay, so slight improvement here. I'd be inclined to get rid of a South at this point. Hey, I mean, you're more than welcome. Obviously, I have no idea when I'm going to do this, because I don't have a regular gaming slot anymore. I should really get back to doing regular streams that aren't Mahjong. But I need to also do the Mahjong streams on a regular basis, because otherwise I will stop. Oh dear. As disaster happened. Well, we're about to find out. That's about 5 minutes in the future, obviously, with the way the delay works. Meanwhile, Larry, still 2 away. So what's Starfall looking towards? Starfall might be trying to force a Honitsu. Which, given the point difference, isn't necessarily a bad thing to be going for. Especially it's Honitsu Dora 1. JPB is obviously dealer. And actually he's looking reasonably good for a 7 pairs thing here. Has picked up the Dora. So might cut the 1s if he wants to give up on 7 pairs, or might... Yeah, Tanyo. So 1 from Tanyo and Dora. Which is said, the second thing you always try and look out for. Tanyo and Pinfu. As new players, those are your 2 watchwords. Things like Honitsu, things like all the ridiculous high-value stuff. The Ryan Peikos, the Jin Chans, the Kokushi Masos. Yeah, they're not going to happen. But, you know. You might just pull off a Tanyo Pinfu. and that's what you should aim for first. Definitely just looking for a call for Tempai at this point. Although, admittedly, most of his tiles are middle, so he's not likely to get that easily. Could still happen. Has hit double Dora. So at this point, maybe cut the 4 man. Nope, goes for 7 instead. So 8's a call here, because that gives you Tempai. Admittedly, you're waiting on... Well, yeah, Tempai 5-8. So here, Larry could call and try to push closer to this this thing. Get rid of the West at this point. West is still alive, admittingly, but... Nope, decides to cut the 5. Another 4, most likely play for, well, I say most likely play for safety, actually. Sif's still well and truly in this hand. Well, Starfall's Honitsu has kind of fallen apart. I'm not 100% sure what she's going for at this stage, or if she's just folding. Either way, Larry also plays the 4s, again for safety. So here's the interesting thing. Do you play a 7 in this position? Nope, of course you don't. So, possible Itsu for Sif if you can draw the 8. Larry also nearly there. Not only 3 more draws left, but nearly there. Potential options with that 6, but I think he's going to have to play it if he wants to stay in. So you can cheat that, shot the West and me in Tempai. You also have 4, 5, 6 Sanshikyu as a very near possibility here. Especially as you know the 7's safe on the left, and it's unlikely anybody else wants it, but... Actually, given this card pool on Starfall, that might be a consideration not play the 7. And in an odd way, that 6 that was just played there would make me more convinced of that. Alright, so gives up the Sanshikyu. Ultimately has given up the hand with 2 draws left, but... Oh, there we go. Khan. Cuts the east now, which I suppose is fine. So, Sanshikyu for Sif at this point, waiting on the west. Has a 5 to get rid of, and that unfortunately is going to be a deal-in. Alright, the game is back on, and that's obviously what the Sai was about 5 minutes ago. Haite Tanyo Dora free. Tila Mangan counterattack, and the game is now very much more interesting. Alright, South 2 repeat. So yeah, I think Larry had chances with that hand if he'd have been a bit more aggressive, but yeah. It always hurts to lose a big hand on a Haite. Thankfully, it wasn't required for him to get the hand, because I've had that. I've done it to Haite Dora 4 before. Dealing into Haite Dora 4 is the worst. Actually, there's lots of things that are the worst, but Haite Dora 4 feels bad, I'll tell you that. Anyway, onto this hand and onto what Larry should be doing. Larry should not be worrying about this. So the good news about this is, Larry's in the lead again. So Larry just needs a couple of wins to get over the 30,000 threshold, and the game is Larry's. JPB, though, is going to be massively encouraged by that. He's come back, has double Yakuhai. So green and east he can call from. So that gives him the ability to call anything, and be reasonably sure he'll get a shot at getting the other bit. Because while there is a chance that one pair is in somebody's hand, and it isn't, the chances of both pairs being in somebody's hand is even slimmer, although not beyond the realms of possibility. And yeah, that's looking really quick. So 3 or 5 for Tenpai. Oh, 3 or 5, no, actually it doesn't give Tenpai. Ignore me. Alright, White Dragon. Which is going to release the White Dragon in Sif's hand, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Larry is still going to be the 1s and 9s. So we'll have a look back in his hand in a little bit when he is nearly done. So yeah, all the Souths are out, so that's all done. One so not the most useful thing for JP right now. Red Dragon is safe because you see where the other 3 are. Plays the 3 anyway. There is some merit to keeping this around and playing the more risky stuff first, but ultimately it's a dead tile in your hand. If you're still looking at trying to go for the win, you might want to play that first. Okay, good draw. So he's now closed 5 only. But ultimately, if he's going to get some triplet calls, then he's going to get rid of that 4-6 in that kind of vein anyway. Starful looking at Tanya by the look of it. Oh, draw is a set of... Okay, so he's now got his Yaku High sorted. That's a great draw for JPB. So Yaku established and can call pretty much anything from 1 to 7 to get to Tenpai. Actually can call that to get to a 3-sided Tenpai. Didn't take the 3-sided weight, so he wants to go for that. I mean, it's possible, but it seems unlikely based on the discard pools. And that's ignoring the fact that we can see. But I've never dealt into a surprise 13 orphans by holding back the last honor tile for a couple of turns to get rid of more dangerous tiles. Meanwhile, everybody's kind of on the attack, which is the worst feeling in the world when you're the dealer, but I suppose with that... Does he want to go for that? See, I'd definitely call that 6. Because if you call the 6, you have Tenpai and you're the dealer. It's a close game. I'd have been inclined to take that, but he's obviously looking at trying to force more value out of the hand. So, going a bit greedy. He is still in last place, after all, so... Oh, okay. He can go full greed here. He's going for the half flush. Alright, Larry has Reach on a Pinfu weight. Actually, is it Pinfu? No, it's not. No, it is Pinfu. What am I talking about? It is Pinfu. So, Pinfu 9-6. 2 9s are unfortunately stuck. 2 6s are unfortunately stuck. As is a third 6. So his weight's not good, but he has no way of knowing that from this board. The only thing he can see is the 1-9 and the fact that dots are reasonably, you know, all over the place on the board. He's also been helped out massively by just hitting Dora free. JPB has decided no more messing around, I must hit Tenpai. Unfortunately, he's on a Dora weight and all the Dora are in hands that are not coming out of, as far as I can work out. So this might be... This should be all Larry here. He's just hit 3 Dora from that. He's got Ura flips as well if he can pull off either of those. But as I've said, there aren't a lot of those out. That was just unfortunate. Unfortunate risk of reaching, but yeah, Honitsu, Dora. And JPB takes the lead. Yeah, unlucky. Alright, still in South 2. Well, Mono's ready to start. I can't actually join this queue until I've finished spectating this game, so maybe a slight delay before the next one starts up. Or I can just abandon the watching of this and just, you know, take it from the tournament log later. But, you know, I'm enjoying this thing. Larry's hand is quite good, but unfortunately now he needs to chase a lead. And unfortunately, when you need to chase a lead, everybody else starts calling. Because they're now trying to secure second and third. Or just trying to push the leader off a dealer turn, which, again, I get, because that absolutely makes sense to try and... Whenever the dealer is the person in the lead of the game, you kind of don't want him to be the dealer anymore. At least until the lead becomes unassailable, and then you start working to second place as much as possible. So, Sif has gone all in for Chanter. Versus Starfall with an all in for Tanyo. JPB is probably out of this. And the only reason I'm going to say he is because he's got the red door of 5, which he's held on for this entire time. So... Alright, drop the 1. Sif's still going quite hard for this Chanter hand. Open Chanter's not worth that much, but... if you're feeling feisty, you could go call, but you got to then cuss the white dragon away, which, given Sif, if nobody else, doesn't feel like the best of plans to just toss this. But you've got safe tiles, and now she has Tenpai. She's not the North Wind, so she has to win on that 9 dot. And the other advantage of keeping a red 5, I suppose, is that eventually you'll draw middle tiles around it. You're always going to draw things that are related to the middle tiles more often than the edge tiles. Also, that's a naked weight, and I've mentioned this before. Do not go into naked weights. It never works out well. So basically, this means that the only thing that people are really worrying about here is just, you know, Dora, most likely. And you're trying to mathematicalize this. And yeah, she played an 8. She might play another one earlier, but you had more chance of getting the win out of the 2. Because ultimately, eventually you'll draw Medora. And once you've drawn Medora, you can't change your mind anymore. You're pretty much stuck on that. Red 5 also could be the other thing as well. So avoiding Red 5, Medora. And then, of course, when you draw something that's absolutely useless, but is a dangerous tile for everybody else, you're forced to kind of play it. Anyway. Sif with the quick handover. We are in South 3. So, full set of reds for Larry as dealer. So, this is a good space for a dealer rampage. Khan, you're in last place. Seriously, this is the Khan moment. If you're in last place, you have a Yaku, you are dealer, this is where you can Khan. If you're a useful tile out of that as well, hit 1 extra Dora. There we go. You are now the threat. You will now call everything, because now you've Khan, you have to go for the win, because otherwise you've just given away points. Come on, Larry, we believe in you. And not just because we're sitting behind you. Meanwhile, actually, looking across the table, Starfall's got a really good... Why cut the pair, though? What? Oh, yeah, cut the pair of freeze. Not sure. Might be looking to upgrade the hand to Chanter, although in that case, why'd you get rid of a 9? Yeah, Friso has been the correct decision for the last couple of turns, but... It might be trying to bluff around a future 1-4 weight, but you have no idea that's going to be your weight coming up to this. Yeah, I can't call that. Now gets rid of the 3. I'd have definitely done that a couple of, you know... If you got rid of the 3 a couple of turns earlier, you might have been able to keep your 9 pair. So ultimately, yeah. Let's see, what's coming out of JPB? You might get the 8 of a 9 out of JPB at this point, but I feel that everything else is kind of required. And also, that's a quick pin through hand, and also straight into a weight as well. And you've Khan'd as well, so of course they were going to attack this. And unfortunately, that is Riichi. Okay, so the battle for the lead now goes into South 4. That was Larry's last chance to come back into the game, I think. Not a lot that could happen from there in all fairness, but definitely unfortunate. whether Larry cut the pair or not, that wasn't going to be quick enough. That's fine. I've been having fun just commentating on your hand. If I've said anything that feels mean, I don't mean it, honestly. I'm just analysis and whatever. Don't worry too much. It's just the way I would kind of analyze the hand on my own benefit. So, yeah. I apologize if it feels mean. I'm not the one playing the game, as I mentioned before. I do not have the pressures of the game. I do not have whatever else. And I've also been playing this for a lot longer. So, I'm certainly open to making those sorts of errors. And you weren't the only one who was making errors in this game. We actually swapped from Starfall earlier on because we thought she'd disconnected or gone massively on tilt with misclicks at one point. Still. Let's see how the rest of this hand goes. It's not a bad hand for Larry. Unfortunately, it's not going to be one that's relevant for the rest of this. Let's stick with Sif, because Sif needs a comeback hand here. She's the dealer. She has, unfortunately, or fortunately, the Dora Dragon. It's absolutely the safe tile at this point, but it always feels bad at this stage. And again, I don't know what this is, but Sif, you've gone for Chanta or Junshan in every single hand I've noticed you going for in this game thus far. But Junshan Sanshikyu from the end would definitely be a comeback hand. We'll see. We'll see if this pays off. It doesn't. Oh, why would you tell? All right, fine. We're not going to pay attention to. We're going to pay attention to JPB. All right. So we've now been behind all four players, although briefly there. So JPB, looking at just ending this hand as quickly as possible, is going to go for the Tanyo Pinfu. Might even just go for Tanyo the way this has gone here. So can call a 6 here, but that interferes a bit. Good 5 drop. Yeah, Sanshiki is a possibility as well, but he doesn't need it. He's leading the game, so he will take whatever comes, and honestly, if you get the opportunity to just take the Pinfu or the Tanyo, absolutely when you're leading. You don't worry about Han when you're in the last game. The win is more important than how you won. Especially when the player most likely to beat you is already calling. Alright, so you can call this, cut the 5, or you're in a single weight for something. I wonder if it might have been better to be on the 6, but... I mean, obviously we see the pair of 7s across, so, you know, we have some prior knowledge of this, but... It's not the best of weights, but it is a weight you can be on. There's no CG traps in play at the moment. Well, let's see how this goes. Triple white and sumo. Okay, Starfall I think has pulled off the win. Is that high enough value? 27. I don't think that's high enough. Nope, it is. Just about. I can do maths good. Well, we were watching you at the start. We should have been watching you to the end. We apologise. Good game. Right, let's get home. Let's prepare for a match. So we have Mono and myself currently in the queue. Let's see if we can get 2 more. Well, you seem to be doing it all the time, and sometimes it worked, which was the more bizarre thing about it. But yeah, Chanto almost never works, in my experience. That's why I always love going for Junshan hands when they come up. Oh. Meanwhile, I badly need to get a win. I need at least to finish reasonable to end this off. I think Mono is a positive score away from just taking the lead at this point. Alright, we have JPB. 1 more needed. And we have Starfall. Okay, we have a game. Alright, this is probably going to be the last one of the stream, and then we'll... well, then I'll tally up and put it in the Discord what the current score is. We're up to 12 viewers. Anyway, Good luck. Let's see how this goes. Alright, let's see if I'm starting dealer again. I'm not. I'm last dealer. Exactly where I want to be. Alright, dragon plus a triplet. So we've got a good attacking hand here. Prefer this to be north so we've got some backup, but I feel this is good enough to go for. Especially since we got it instantly. Okay, 2 from Tenpai. Have potentially irregular 7-8 weight coming up. And I think now we're looking at getting rid of a Dora here. Which arguably we should have done a few turns ago, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll get rid of it now. Because I prefer to know. Okay, so Mono's got a triplet of them. But again, I prefer to know that sort of thing in advance. It's certainly better doing that now than worrying about that later. Fortunately, it's going to be... Well, actually, it probably isn't Manzi. I'll say, if it was Pinzu, that was the last chance to get rid of 5, really. Good draw. Okay, 1 to go. And then we got the irregular 7-8 weight at the moment. If the 7 passes, of course. Alright, Tenpai and what looks like a dot Honitsu. Safe tile.
Riichi.
Okay, so something else to consider then. Okay. JB wasn't expecting that one. So, there was not a good justification for going for free for that, except for the fact that she played the pair of 9s early on. We got the sumo anyway, so we lucked out, but... Nobody can, indeed. So we end with a trash hand. But I've got a reach stick. You know, trash hand and a reach stick because I was brave enough to play the free there. It wasn't a good justification, but with a pair of 9s gone, I don't know. That wasn't good play. I'm just say that now. 9 was tossing the west wind because I failed to notice I'm west. Oh dear. Okay, so for all of those comments I made during the game, if you're insulted, I'm going to insult myself worse now. Oh dear. Alright, let's calm down a little bit. So here we're probably looking to just force a Tanyo here. We'll just draw 3 more, indeed. But I always do this. I always throw away loose wests. More than the other, yeah, it's never north. I always am kind of aware when I'm north seat, but for whatever reason, when I'm west, I just toss wests. Oh well. It was fine. Don't worry. Meanwhile, pause on the 8 dots. Okay, Starfall on the attack. Meanwhile, Mono has discarded Dora ... so... Which is interesting, but doesn't give us quite indicator of what they're going for at this point. Might even be something like silly like 7 pairs, just getting rid of it. Although you keep the Dora normally in 7 pairs situations. Okay, so Manzu Honitsu. Meanwhile, we'll be looking to just get Tanya here, so we'll play the 1 off as soon as we can. Could also be going for Open Itsu, I guess. Well, there's the first one. Unfortunately, one's already been played, so... So recall away from Tenpai. Okay, so this is more a consideration I don't want to... Okay, Tanya only. Alright, we're fine then. Also, possibly Chanter from Mono. Which would also explain all the middle tiles. Fun times. Okay, 4. I might call into the Tanya, but... Well... I'll see, I have options here. I'd love a 2-dot to suddenly be safe. Oh, darn it. Actually, no, green's fine. But that means I can call for Tenpai. Not gonna calm that. Well, JV with a big win. Mangan. Alright, JVB takes the lead. I am second on pretty much my starting value. I could have canned away Sumo. I could have done, but you know, I'm not one of these people. I practice as I preach. I don't can into other people's reaches. Especially when I don't have Tenpai, and especially when there's a tight game. That's not a lot of points. He's 6,000. He's a non-dealer Mangan away. I can afford to not even have to worry about him at this stage. I suppose the question here is, do I try and force a Honitsu, or do I just go normal? Because I could potentially do a few things with this. Most of those things I could do rely on getting some help though, so this might not be good for me here. We'll see. Again though, knocking the current leader off a dealer position is always to be prioritized. So we'll see what happens. I want to cut the green here, but... Okay, now we can cut the green. It's always nicer when somebody else does that for you. Doesn't make any difference. He still got the call, but, you know. At least it wasn't my fault. Mind you, I tend to play these early, so I'm always the person dealing the early dragons. What's worse is, it looks like Mono's on a Manzu Honitsu. Although she didn't need the 4, she didn't need the 1. She's got the Yaku high, so she might start calling now. Yeah. Alright, well we know what the hand is. Didn't play a Manzu out of that call, so I imagine she's not quite there yet. But this is still helping to get JPB off the dealer turn. Just might not be in the most optimal way for me.
Riichi.
Okay, we've got safe tile for 1. Kill any Apatsu. And maybe we gamble with Ford up. Where's all the 8s are gone? Okay. Dragon Dora 1. 39. We'll live with that. Plus it's to 3rd, but overall I can live with the way I was playing that, so we'll see. Right. Now to be your turn, of course I don't have a pair of dragons. North to start. Alright, Starfall on the attack. Double call from Starfall? No, can't. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I normally take this hand, but now I've got other problems. During my dealer turn, somebody is trying to force something ridiculous. Good news is we can easily rush this for Tanyo, I think. Ultimately, actually, the only plan I have is to force this. Because I am dealer right now. Even though it is likely just Honitsu, it's still me who's going to lose the most of the points for this. So I'm happy to try and force it. Especially since it's Tanyo Tudora as dealer. 2-5, come on. One time, 2-5 from JPB. Not quite, but we'll take it. Good news is, we definitely do not look like we're on a Manzu weight. They never had the last one. Just as an FYI. I've mentioned this many, many times, but 95% of the time they do not have the last one. Dots is probably the most likely tile he's got for the Honitsu, but it's still a Mangan. We still lose the most points out of that. Play 8 because it was close to the 9 she played earlier. Wrong 2. That was unfortunately a risky thing there, and he's played 8-9. I didn't want the 7, thankfully. Wrong 2. There we go. Sumo. Evaded the giant hand. Tanyo Dora 2 as dealer. 6,000. Okay, north to start. We have another Dora in the opening hand. And we've been given a safety path for our white dragons, so huzzah. 3 pairs. Okay, somebody wants to move the game on, which I absolutely understand. And somebody's calling 9s. Starfall is in last place, so actually their aggressive calling to become the dealer again makes a bit of sense. So we've hit 4 pairs here. We could go try and force a toy, but seems unlikely. Seems less likely now we've done that. Let's risk the east. Triplet of the 8s. Alright, cut the 1s. So we're in Tempai with 1, 3, 6. We're also still in Tempai with 1, 3, 7. How do I feel about channeling? No, we're not gonna channel things here. I was half debating a switch, getting out the 1s, going for Tanyo, but if we can draw anything that can please this, we're probably gonna go Karnan in. And of course, we can always cut the 5, because of course that means we've now got 7, 9 weight. Just being somewhat aware of JPB at this stage. He probably wants Mansu as well. If he's on for a Chanter and needs the 8s, that might be a really fun hand for us later. See, I didn't take the first one of these, but I'm actually debating it now. Because otherwise it's dead weight, so we'd have to get the 1s. And we know that JPB's on some form of Chanter style weight, so we're not going to risk it. Draw the 6, Khan, reach whatever we draw on the Khan, unless it's the Rin Shan, of course. Oh, that's just what we need. Done it. Yeah, I'll have JPB on a 7-9 and just closed weight on the Manzu. That's what I've got him on. Cut the 1s, cut the 9, and then we'll see. Well, I lost my chance with this one a bit. Technically, I've still got the chance of Rin-Shanning this down thing. Green's live. Nope. 7 safe up top and to the right, but not necessarily against you. 5 safe there. Yeah, I was trying to see if there's a way around it to hit some form of tempo with that, but no. That's fine. We played casually, and we'll see what happens. Ultimately, we're about to see what... I want to see what JPB's in, definitely in tempo for the 8. Because I bet you he is. No, we'll never know. And we will never know. Mono picks up the points, goes into second place. JPB is now under the 30k threshold, so So that means nothing. Obviously, we're in South 1. Eventually, somebody's going to be in above the 30k. You would think. Still, reasonably even game. Oh, this hand. Alright. We clearly need a longer tea ceremony. It's already gone cold. Yeah, this isn't a hand that's going to go anywhere. So let's just try and stay out of people's way and hope that somebody else deals into somebody. And preferably it's JPB into Starfall. So I'm going to cut the 4th first. This would be a reasonable... No, it wouldn't be a Nagashi anyway, so... I, of course, cannot get Nagashis. This has been established and proven many times. The hand is impossible. Certainly impossible with this hand. So I'm folding quite hard in this phase, but that's only because I don't want... I really don't want to deal into something like a Honitsu Dora at this point. Because he could definitely have a pair of Wests. It is also his. He's gotten it twice in games against me. But it is impossible. It cannot be done. The hand does not exist. So that was also the indicator, so that's fine. I think it might have been even last stream he managed that against me. Or if it wasn't him, it was the other player at the table. Okay, so we know it's Honitsu, so it's not the worst case scenario, but he could still have Manga out of this. Who's going to be greedy and go for a Sozi tile? Yeah, JPB's going to be greedy. Oddsy flip. Oh, okay. That'll be fine, I guess. Yeah, 3 of us have been played and the other one's the indicator, so that's actually more than fine, really. So I've got at least 3 more discards to make. Also being safe is quite interesting. Is he discarding? He did discard from that, so we can play the 4 as well. Yeah, there's a slight animation thing where you can tell whether they discarded the same tile, but I'm barely aware of that most of the time, so... As I know he didn't change his hand up, that 4 was definitely going to be safe twice. And that means this will be safe. So we have 1 more to play. It's the last 8. I think we see all the 7s as well, so... Well, I'm the only person not playing the game at this point then. So 5-8. And our gap to the leader has extended to Mungan range again. Still, Yakuhai, 2 pairs. Things we can do. All hands are good starting hands from Nageshi, if you feel they're bad enough. Well, Mono seems to be on the Nageshi plan right now. Let's play the West. Yeah, let's get the first one. Hand's not that great, and we don't need to necessarily rush this. We'll take the second one, I imagine, but you know. Because as I told you, Nageshi is not a real hand. That's why. I mean, it could. There are many hands that could happen. But yeah, this is probably the pair we're trying to get rid of. I think that might be a giveaway, Sif, based on your recent games.
Riichi.
Alright, Riichi cross stable. We know 4's safe, so we'll keep going. Yeah, don't mind losing in 3rd place. It's definitely a thing you can do. So the only way she can be waiting on the south is if it's a single wait on that. We've got west we can go for anyway. We now know 9's safe as well. Okay. So basically there. The 7's also safe. We've been given the green light for this one. And technically we can win on the 6 as well, so it's not a definite chancer, but we'll take this. Eight safe. No, changing it doesn't do anything at this point. Changing it doesn't do anything at this point. 3-man's safe. We've had all the green lights, but unfortunately it doesn't matter if we don't get the win, of course. Oh, we got the win. Wrong side of it, but we'll take it. Especially with 3 repeats and a reach stick on the board. Right, so we're now no longer worrying about the Mungan range. It's just a case of 3,000 points. That's standard, just win a hand. So this isn't too bad. We can definitely live with this. One south has been played as well, so we'll bear that in mind on the next turn or two. Get rid of it now. Oh, so many closed weights we need to fill in. I suppose Tanya is also still an option with this, so we're going to cut the 1 here. Hope to draw some more useful things. But a quick Tanya hand to move us into south 3 would be fine. Said, we're still going to wait. trying to force me in a direction. We'll get it that way. Alright, White Dragon's fine. See? Should have been Brave Boy. Game is starting to punish me for things. Sanjikidoko. Missed. Hit one door though. Okay. Well, we get a call on in the other stuff. We're in tempo for the rest of it. Okay. Not a Khan reach though. We'll live with it. How many we got? We got all four. Okay. 6 dot 4 man. And CG trap. Double CG trap, actually. No, I thought you might want that based on the previous discard, but apparently not. Alright, the attack continues. Seems like Sozu Honitsu, but... Alright, last draw coming up. I'll say, is there a benefit to changing that? I don't think there is. Haite! 4-man Haite? 6 dot Haite? Not quite. 3-play Tenpai though. And now we're only 1,000 points behind the leader. And we've hit a pair of Easts in the South round, but we do have 2 Dora to make up for that. So if we can pair up either the West, and we're definitely the West round this time, or the White, then this is a good Toy calling hand. We'll see though. We're up to 4 pairs. And West has gone. At least one has. It's still a close game, so we want to be cautious a little bit here. We can play the White and we can play the West. Fortunately, East doesn't do anything for us in this round, but we can always use some safe tiles later with one played. Triplet. Okay. Now Toy might be on. I'll feel more confident about Toy if I've got a triplet in hand. This means I'm not going to naked weight shenanigans, but it's still usually a bad weight. If we get given Dora free though, we're always going to go for that. If only on the fret side of things, that's got to be big. Though we are committing to try and force a Toy through now. One East played. Well, we'll see. Technically, we can be in Tenpai with the free draw, so. Wrong free. It's a bit early to be thinking about that, and that's why we're going to cut the 8 here. So technically we are Tenpai, but until we can trade up the 1 of the 2 for a pair, then that is not a hand that's going anywhere. That, though, has given me Dora 2. I'm going to apologize because I didn't know that was a thing. I have local Yaku on. Anyway, we'll play South here. Yep, apparently so. A local Yaku. I have them turned on for flavor reasons, and most of the time it doesn't come up, but there are a few weird things that we've already discovered. So, for example, there's Riichi as well, which is exactly the same thing. If you declare Reach on a tile and somebody wins off it, it's worth an extra Yaku. There's also the sort of prismatic one, so if you get 1 of each suit plus 1 wind and 1 dragon, that's worth 2. There's a few other bits and pieces we've discovered as well, going through the list. It's also got Power Renchan, of course, which is winning 8 consecutive hands. Which somebody got really close to that the first game we played on these rule set, but didn't come off. And then, of course, the chat tried to do that in the whole free player Washizu, which also didn't pay off, although that wasn't for lack of trying. I think we get rid of a Norths here. There's an argument for keeping the Norths and going in a North 5 weight, but if we're just waiting on the 5 anyway, we might as well just get rid of the Norths now while we do something semi-useful and see what happens. Okay, Reach. South is fine. Most likely Low Sozu or Pinzu. Honestly, this could be a thing. Yeah, I'll probably have those turned off at some stage, but don't worry about them is all I can say for the most part. Don't think she wants it. We can play the 9 anyway, which is definitely safe. So... Heh. As I say, normally you won't play with these, and these are generally house ruled things anyway. So there's a few important ones that people occasionally play with for nostalgia reasons. There's the whole there's the wheels thing, which I'm aware of. Is a 9 safe against you? I don't think it necessarily is. My 8s. I got a pair of them, so yeah, that's the important thing. I'm in the lead, so I really don't want to deal in. 4 is fine. 9 is fine. East should be fine. Okay, no, I like that one. That's truly being sake. There is normal sakeing and there is true sake level of sake then. Okay. So this hand is kind of bonkers. We're also sitting south, which is, you know, means we've already got the double. Honitsu is quite easy, but we might not, depending on how things go. I'm happy to get my closest challenger off the dealer position, so that's kind of why the call happens there. But I don't think we're going to force Honitsu if it comes to it. We'll see. I've already played 1-6, so we do have to get rid of that as well, but... Okay, one pair. That I removed that because that was a more specific about hand value. Well, we'll take the big win. Yep, that's only 2 Han. Well, I imagine it had to be worth something. I'm surprised it's only worth 2, really, based on Rinchan into Rinchan, but... Alright, I've stolen all the jam. The jam is mine. I pretty much am. I mean, I kind of wanted to finish on a high. This is annoyingly wanting me to continue on, but I did say this was going to be the last one, so... We'll see. I'm wondering about levels of greed here. We'll see. Because there definitely isn't an argument. There definitely shouldn't be going for Chinitsu with this, should I? Gonna hold off. There's an argument for reaching this, but we'll see. Alright, let's go for this. Reach Sananko. Plenty of calm potential. On a Dora 9 weight. I mean, there's many reasons why this is a bad idea, because 20,000 is not insurmountable. If JPB can pull together a Hanneman. But 9 dot is always a better thing to be waiting on than Adora just by itself or a single tile in a suit you haven't played up to this point. It's going to be very slight sadness when I draw a 3 dot. Well, or 1 dot, I guess, but if somebody wants to attack, they might have to play Fedora, so we'll see. Yeah, why not? Why not? I'll give you points. You can have points. I'm giving you a fair shot at coming back into this game. This is definitely a wrong decision in the last hand to do. But, you know. Let's see, is there still... No, 7's been played over there. Darn it. Alright, Haite. Oh, actually, no, I get the Haite. No, no Haite Sumo. Well, I end on 50k. I get my shades for the round. Unfortunately, I don't have my shades with me right now, but I get shades. I end on a positive, 42. Oh yeah, well that was entertaining. GG all. Sorry for the ending, Rampage. And yeah, local Yaku as well. I am gonna leave it up to chat at this point as to whether I turn these off going forward. Because I'm more than happy to do that, because this is ultimately a beginner level stream. Local Yaku were on for flavor reasons more than anything else, and because I think somebody asked for them. If you want me to turn Local Yaku off, I will do so going forward, but I kind of like having them there as a random bonuses. But if they do get to a sort of level of being all over the place and ridiculous, we will shut them off definitely. Anyway. Well, it's not annoying, it's just, you know, it's odd, very odd Sanshiki. I mean, it's fine. I don't mind this, but it is too hard for something that seems reasonably easy. Seems it. Although, admittedly, there are only 3 dragons, so, you know, sooner or later you lose out. Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys. I will call out a stream here. Oof. I mean, sometimes that's the thing. Sometimes you have to go for greed. That whole last hand was entirely greed under the guise of, I'm giving you a shot by calling a card and trying to increase my already ridiculous number of Dora. Oh dear. But yes, thanks for joining us. We will be back next week. That might be the last one for a while, but I'll know more next week, so I'll do all scheduling announcements at that point. So, thanks for joining me. Until then.